Hello, my mindful adventures. Are you ready for your weekly dose of the blog post? I am outside. It's a little chilly, and I got bear with me. I got the dogs. They're out here doing their thing. Hopefully, they don't interrupt a bunch of times. So let's go ahead and dive into this because you click this because you're like, intake. What do you mean intake? Sacred? What are you talking about? Or maybe you already know. Maybe you already know, and this is just supplemental learning for you. So, like I said, we're talking about intake as a sacred act because it is a sacred act. My dog wants me, and bro. Anywho, so if you want to, at any point during this video, you can go down below and find the blog post. It is titled "Tending the Temple: Intake as a Sacred Act," because this is our bodies are temples. I know I talked about it more in the first one than the second one, but our body is a temple. And when we intake things, we're letting things through our temple gates, into our sacred sanctuary, and into the catacombs, and all of those different access, and all of those different parts. And I'll have that video, well, the first video for the month, listed up here, and then I also have the links to each of the blog posts down below too. So if you want to go check those out individually, you can. And of course, if you lose this somehow, then you can get to the link to the YouTube video below. It'll be on the bottom of the blog post. So without further ado, my name is Jamila, and I will be your commander-in-chief, your editor, your whole guide right now. And yes, I stuttered. Okay, yes, I stuttered. Anyway, let's go ahead and begin. Right. So eating is only like physically eating, like food and things like drink and like taking in those types of things is only like half of the equation. It's not the whole picture. Like it never really has been. We are both physical and energetic beings. We are able to take in energy and we are able to eat physical items. So you best believe that when we take in energy, it gets trapped in the body, or not trapped, but it gets locked in the body, in our soft tissues, like the traumas and other like large like big events, things like that. So events, whether you're talking to somebody, someone cuts you off in traffic, that shit gets trapped in your body. When you're eating food, the burger you had last week, whether it be a tofu, chicken, beef, veggie, black bean, whatever burger, the one you had last week is still in your body. Your cells are using that for energy right now as you're watching this. So, unless you don't eat burgers and then whatever you ate, then this in your body. So, either it's being used by your cells or it's being stored as fat, and excess. We're gonna get into all that. Okay? I'm not in by any way a nutritionist. I do know the basics of nutrition and things of that nature, and also like energy transfer stuff. So I am a noob, just as you are a noob. From one noob to another, we gonna learn together. But I do have a lot of information I want to share with you guys. So don't let that deter you. Stay here, please. You're here for a reason, okay? Let's find out what that reason is together, or you should find out on your own. I can't really help you because I don't know. I can't. Jamila, reel it back in. Okay. So, we are the stewards of our temple. We are the guard at the gate. Literally, last week we talked about the nervous system as a guard. Like, our nervous system is what our bodies uses. I mean, so we have the nerves. Of course, if we have nerves, you feeling in our body, and that's and the nervous system also helps control different body functions, including digestive function, our heart, lungs, how much urine we create, like there's all kinds of things that our nerves do, right? And one of the things that they do is help us. We feel things with the nervous system, and then the feelings are messengers. Emotions are energy in motion. So when we are not feeling our emotions, they get stuck in our body. Our body holds on to that stagnant non-motion. I think that's the best way to say. And so that's where traumas and things come from. So when we're working through those traumas and things, we have to get them back into motion, like go back into the feeling them, or physically moving our body. Sometimes physically moving, like, I don't know if you guys have heard of somatic exercises. I have heard of them. I've looked into them. I'm not too interested in them, mostly because I do intuitive movements and my body releases as it goes. So I don't like try to push it, you know. Sometimes my body moves faster than I think I should be moving, but anywho, neither here nor there. Everyone's different. Everyone has their own pace of moving through things. Do not rush yourself, okay? Do not take if you look at any of my videos and I talk about like moving quickly or like, you know, whatever, or like how the process I went through, take that with a grain of salt, because your process, your journey is totally different. It's going to be different from anyone else's. You might have a twin, I mean, an identical twin with the same chromosomes, right? And your guys' growth could look completely different. So keep that in mind, right? It doesn't matter how related you are. It doesn't matter how much we look alike. It doesn't matter. None of that fucking matters. It matters about your personal being. This is all about you and all of this work. And I'm going to keep saying it until I'm blue in the face, until I'm this color. I just realized how crooked this is. I don't know. But not your growth. Well, yes, your growth journey is going to be hard. I'll tell you that right now. It is not easy. There are aspects of it that are easy. Yes. What you find easy might not be easy for me or the other person. You know what I mean? Everyone has their own level of experiences. So don't judge yourself based on someone else's experiences. That's something I feel like I should put on every video. Like don't do that to yourself, because that's robbing yourself of your own personal growth, of your own journey. Like you're literally devaluing your own journey. Like if your journey is not important to you, then what the fuck is the point of the journey? That's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about it. I know it's kind of extreme, but I don't care. That's how I feel about it. Okay, so what their nervous system will tell us when something is wrong. It will tell us when something needs to be fixed or you know, adjusted and things of that nature. So when we feel something in our body or sensation, pain, butterflies in the stomach, nervousness, so maybe you start sweating profusely every single time something happens. I know for a while when I would talk to people who I deem important, they weren't even like, it wasn't even like a life or death situation or like my boss or anything like that. But every single time I would talk, I mean, I haven't had a boss in a while actually. So. But anyway, but when I would talk to somebody like that, like I would be like, oh, I feel like my my image, my self-image, that's what I was trying to say. But I feel like my self-image is important. I would start to sweat like really bad. I mean, like profusely. I mean, like I'd be sweating down my face. I'd be sweating down my back and my pits. Everything would be sweaty. Like even my knee pits would be sweaty. My feet would be sweaty. It happened every time, and it took me a while to realize this, because I feel like I feel like in a way it was like a life or death situation for me personally. In my mind, it was anxiety. It was social anxiety, but also it was me having like a lack of understanding of my self-worth. I mean, if I'm going to be honest, that's really what it was. Once I found my self-worth and realized that I can speak up for myself, and then I can like really, you know, do what I need to do for myself, I stopped sweating profusely every single time I talked to somebody who was important. So there's that. But I'm just saying, sensations in the bodies, they're telling you something. They could be telling you a medical thing too. Okay. Another thing too about this, I don't want you to be like, oh, I feel this pain and it's persistent and I've never been to the doctor about it, but I think it's the thingy, and then you don't do anything about it, and then it turns out to be something really bad. Please, if you have access to a health professional and you have pains or you have sensations in your body that are very, I don't want to say uncomfortable, because sometimes the sensations aren't like completely uncomfortable, but you should go get that checked out by a doctor. Okay, first and foremost, I'm just going to say that right now, because I'm not a doctor in any way, and even when I do become a doctor, I still will not be that kind of doctor in any way. So please check yourself out. Get yourself checked if you need to check yourself. Right. Bear is sitting in my lap. Bear needs a bath. Bear needs to be washed. Anywho, so think of like your diet or like the sensation or experiences that you have as like a blessing, It's like a blessing of responsibility. You are responsible for your own vessel. You are responsible for what you put into your vessel, what you feed yourself with, what you experience, the things that you do. You are responsible for that. And I know that seems daunting. I know that seems like a lot, but it's a blessing. I would rather be in charge of what I put in my body than have someone else in charge of it. I don't want someone in charge of my fucking body. The fuck are we talking about? That's my body. If it's my body, then you don't know what's going on in my body. Just like I said earlier, your experience, your growth experience may be very different for someone else's. You don't know what's going on in their body or how that affects them or anything like that. So you can't put your expectations on others and others' expectations on you. It just doesn't work because it just doesn't make sense. It's like, I know people use the apples to oranges thing, but really it is. I mean, like, you can't expect an apple to expect an orange to look like an apple when it's an orange. It's a citrus fruit. It's not even like in the same family. I mean, the flowering fruit trees, but you know, they're not in this, they're not even like related like that. Like, I'd be more like, you could probably expect an apple and a cherry to be more related. I mean, an apple and a cherry is more related. What am I talking about? Apples and cherries are more related than apples and oranges. But still, I still wouldn't expect an apple and a cherry to look at each other and be like, why aren't you me? Of course, none of these things can do that. I am not crazy about it. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So it is a blessing. Like, diet is what you eat, right? And now people say, I'm going on a diet. It's like, no, you're changing your diet because what you eat is your diet. A diet is not something you just do to lose weight. A diet is what you eat every single day. I just want to say that real quick because I feel like so many people get confused by the word diet. The word diet is literally what you eat in you put in your body. That doesn't make any sense. Okay. And then boundaries. Boundaries are not something like horrible. Not horrible. I don't want to say horrible. They're not like solid walls that need to be and that's okay. So let me refrain. Boundaries are not brick walls. Boundaries should never be brick walls, right? Boundaries need to be able to change and move and evolve as you do. That's why I always say boundaries. I'm going to put the boundaries up there too so you can get to that. But boundaries they should be ice. And this is what I mean by ice. Not cold, like you're cold-hearted. Fuck you. No. Like ice, because you can melt it. You can make it thicker. You can add more ice to it. Water, freeze it, move it around, make it lower, make it thicker, make it thinner, make it, that can be moved around. It can be, but like concrete, you can't really add to concrete and expect it to really bind to itself that well. I don't know much about concrete. Don't come at me if you know shit about concrete. Actually, if you know shit about concrete, let's go ahead and talk because I would love to know. I'm very interested in concrete. I'm interested in all kinds of building materials. But anywho, so these are not restrictions. These are not things that are like causing you, like, these are not things that are like should be looked at as like, oh my god, a diet, oh my god, boundaries. No, these are something like, oh my god, a diet, oh my god, boundaries. You know what I mean? Like, you should be excited. Like, when you have boundaries or when you have like control of because like remember when I was like actually able to like eat what I wanted to eat, and not like so what I want to eat sometimes does not line up with what my body wants to eat, right? So when I say that, from now on in this video, if I say what I wanted to eat, I was not talking about up here. I was talking about down here. This is what makes the ultimate decision on whether or not I keep eating or I even eat that thing in the first place. Because if my body doesn't want to eat something, I will feel nauseous when I think about it or smell it or look at it or even try to eat it. I get really nauseous. I don't throw up, but I get really nauseous to the point where it's like I feel like I will. So I just don't. I don't push it. There's no reason to push it. I'll just rather let it eat what it wants. And usually when I feel like that, when I feel gross, I want to eat fruit and vegetables and fresh raw things and things of that nature, not cooked things or fried things or even sometimes I can't even like fathom eating meat or dairy products. Sometimes my body wants to be vegan, sometimes it wants to be vegetarian, and sometimes it just wants to eat meat. So it just depends. I let my body kind of do what it wants. Not everybody has this gift. I do want to say I do recognize that not everybody has this gift, and this is a really amazing gift, I have to say. Like, holy shit. To be able to just be like, oh, my body wants this thing and I eat it and then my body feels healthier. That's so cool. But for those of you who don't have that gift, we know what's processed, right? And well, I hope we know what's processed. Okay? I hope we know what's processed. And we know what's good for our body. And the thing, it's subjective because some things that are good for our body, we can overdo it and it becomes bad for our body. So moderation is the word I'm looking for. I was gonna say, my brain was like consideration, and I'm like, that's the ending is what I'm looking for, but not the beginning. Moderation, not consideration. But you should be considerate of the things that you're putting in your body in moderation. So it all works. It all works. So yeah, look at them as a blessing and responsibility, not as a restriction. Like this is basically like it is actually. You are what you eat is a horrible sentence. It should be a phrase. It should be you are what you consume, because, like I said, you consuming things goes beyond physical sustenance, goes beyond food. It's more than just water, and it's more than just water and like drink and food and candy and junk and not junk. Like leafy greens and things of that nature. It's also your experiences. It's also the things that you say. And it's funny, it sounds weird, like things I say? I'm consuming the things I say. Yes, you are. You are consuming the things you say. And the things that you think. And the thoughts that you have. And they are all important. And you should be paying attention to all of that stuff. And yes, your thoughts don't necessarily line up with who you are or how you feel as a person, but they are your thoughts. You gotta have boundaries with yourself, because your ego will freak you out, hype you up, and make you so scared before you even do anything, even if it's like the most exciting thing. Maybe, excuse me, maybe someone's like, hey, let's go to Disney World. And you're like, I've never been to Disney World. I know it's huge. There's a big park. There's actually, I think there's like 7 parks altogether. I don't remember, but I think there's like 7 parks altogether, and maybe that makes you like anxious. Maybe like seeing a group of people makes you anxious, and you're like, I know it's going to be a lot of people. Like, I don't want to go, but I want to go. You know what I mean? And then you end up talking yourself out of it because your ego is trying to keep you safe, and by keep you safe, it keeps you small, in your little, your little box, in your little room with your stuff, and all cozy in there, and you're like, I don't have to deal with seeing a bunch of people, but you really want to go do this thing, and you know that if you go do this thing and you have a good time, maybe you won't be as freaked out around people. But convincing your mind that is such a difficult task. So keep that in consideration as well. Okay, so the next part, the mirror of self-intimacy. So the worth and plate. So like how you do one thing is how you do everything. I know a lot of people say that shit and it sounds weird as fuck, but it really is. Like, if you do not pay attention to what you eat and you just constantly, you probably do that in your everyday life. You probably do that with other people. You probably will interact with other people and not fully be present in the conversation or fully be present for the interaction. Right? If you take your time while you eat, if you savor the food, you probably are a really good listener. I mean, an active listener, not just a listener, not just I hear you. No, you're listening, you're taking in the information, you're interpreting it, and you're also like trying to make sure that you understand what the person is saying, not just like, and while your mind is like, have you ever just wondered what's going on in someone's mind? And they're all like, wee, 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 in their mind, but they're like, and you think they're paying attention, but they're really not. I'm just gonna stop because I don't know where I was going, but I think that was perfect. Okay. But yeah, so like, are you rushing? Are you scraping? Like, are you saving? Saving. Are you savoring? Oh yeah. Do you save the good bits till the last? I know some people save the good parts to the end. Some people eat the good parts first and eat the bad parts later. Some people mix it together. Some people are some people like to just eat it. They just have an order. They're like, I eat the starch first, then I eat the vegetable, and then I eat the protein, and then I eat the, you know what I mean? Or not vegetable. I mean like vitamin rich vegetable, vitamin rich item, because it could be not a vegetable, it could be a grain like rice, golden rice. I'm thinking of golden rice because they added. Reason why golden rice is golden is because they added vitamin A, which makes things gold. I mean, orange. Like carrots, if you eat enough, I know this is like, I'm so off on a rabbit trail right now, but if you eat a shit ton of carrots, one, you can get extremely sick, so don't do this. But two, your skin actually changes color. Oh shit, I'm sorry. But your skin actually will change color and you will become orange from the inside out. That is why the flamingos at the zoo are so fucking orange because they feed them carrots and things with lots of beta carotene in it. Beta carotene. I'm just kidding. Oh, shut up. Okay. The dogs might come back and start howling because the coyotes. You can't hear it, but the coyotes are out in the back and they're. So just letting you guys know, if it cuts, that's why. But yeah, so like how we treat our meals is like honestly reflects how we treat our power, right? How we treat our interactions with other people, how we treat our life. Like I said, how you do one thing is how you do everything. And I really thought that this was kind of bullshit, but then when I really sat there and thought about it, yeah, I do treat everything. That some things I might treat with more intensity, but for the most part is I do treat everything basically the same. I don't really like I'm you know, as a human I'm pretty lazy, as most humans are. I promise you, they're not fighting, they're playing. Dogs get really rough. Those two are really rough. But no one is getting hurt. I check him, not every night, but I check him and he's fine. And she's fine. They're both fine. They don't rip each other's throats out or anything like that. I thought I heard some like crazy movement over there. I was about to get freaked out. Okay. So when you choose what nourishes you, like long term, you're choosing intimacy over infatuation. Infatuation is like, oh my god, I am craving an ice cream right now, and I need an ice cream right now with all the shit on top, and I need it right now, and then you eat it, and then you're like, oh, that was nice, and then later you're like, I wasn't supposed to eat that. That's infatuation. In the sense of eating. And intimacy would be, instead of being like, I want ice cream right now, you could be like, okay, what's something that I can eat that reminds me of ice cream that's not gonna fucking destroy whatever it is that I'm doing, like my body, or maybe you're trying to lose weight, or maybe you're trying to maintain a healthy weight, and you can't just eat shit and maintain a healthy weight. That's just not how it works. But you know, you could eat like yogurt. That's good for your long term. It's good for your gut health. Like eat some Greek yogurt, or like yogurt with and you could put like craisins in it. I don't know. You could put dried fruit in there. You could put dates in there. Dates are really sweet. You could put honey in there. Honey is not, in moderation, it is not bad for you. Eating a bunch of honey isn't gonna kill you either. But I'm just saying, like, in moderation. We're talking about moderation here. You could put cinnamon in it. You could you know, and it's healthy. Like, it's yogurt. Like, you could eat the yogurt. I'm not saying like eat like a whole tub of yogurt, but like, you know, like little 18 6 8 ounce cup of yogurt. Or maybe you do want to eat a pound of yogurt. I don't know. I don't know what you're doing. I mean, if it's breakfast, then I guess you could granola with it. Sometimes I wake up and I do want ice cream for breakfast, and that's just not that's just not how I should be doing it, right? Sometimes I do. I'm not gonna lie, I am not perfect, okay? In no way, sense of the shape of the word at all. But I've gone from like literally eating ice cream, just sweets and shit for days, like to not doing that, because one, my body can't handle it anymore, and two, that's not helping. It's not gonna help me long term. Like, it gives me that energy boost and like, you know, instant satisfaction, but it's not like really nourishing my body like that. I felt like sludge. I felt gross. And I genuinely do feel a lot better that I don't eat constant sweets all the time. Ow, surprising, I know. But anyway, enough about me, more about you. So you tell me. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, you can get in the comments and go ahead and tell me. But so yeah, you gotta choose what nourishes you over a long time than what feels good for like 5 minutes, because that's just not worth it. It's also like the same thing too. Like when you're like in an emotional situation, right? And you're like, oh, like okay, so great example. I had today. I got really upset because someone took my food. They took my food. I live in a house with multiple people, and one of them took my food and didn't even like think about it, which is weird because like the food that they took was separate from the other food that was available to the whole house. And anyway, so they took it and I got really mad and I was like, fuck, I'm gonna be petty. And I was like, wait, why would I do that? That's just gross. Why would I be petty when I could just be the bigger person, tell them how I feel, and leave it at that? I don't have to eat their shit. I don't have to go and desecrate. Not that I was going to. Like, I don't have to go and desecrate their space. Like, I don't have to. I don't have to be vengeful. I can be the bigger person still, and still be angry and feel these emotions, right? So instead of indulging, right, instead of being infatuated with getting revenge right there in the moment, I was like, no, I'm gonna be intimate with myself and be like, this is not how I want to be. This is not. I don't want to lower my vibration because they decided to lower their vibration. And turns out this person didn't even realize what they were doing, even though it was kind of obvious what they were doing. But I mean, I can't blame them for that. After we talked, I was like, I don't want it anymore because it was like because I've been, like I said, my body will tell me when I want to eat food, what foods to eat, and that food, the day that I was trying to eat it, it just wasn't, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna save it for later when I can eat it. This morning I was like, okay, I think I can eat it now, and then it wasn't there, so I was like kind of upset, and I cried. I'm not gonna lie, like I got emotional. I'm an emotional person, okay? I'm emotional. I have emotions and feelings, and I cry, and I just cry. I let it happen because sometimes you just gotta cry. Crying is like shedding. No, it's like washing the soul in a way. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, instead of like doing what felt good, which was seek revenge, I was like, I'm going to not seek revenge, and I'm going to remain in my power and my dignity, and not be an asshole. Not, like I said, not that the other person was trying to be an asshole, but like I said, it just didn't need to happen, so I didn't do it. I keep looking over here because there's an incense, and I'm worried it's gonna like fall over. It's not gonna burn anything. I'm literally sitting on top of dirt, but I don't want it to fall over. Anyway, almost lost my notes. The wind. Okay, so auditing your intake, right? The practice, the practical magic, the magic, the real magic here. The it's really just vigilance, honestly. I mean, magic is described as many different things, but I'm talking about vigilance here. I think that's a little bit more relatable for my normal people here. So, normal people. I know everybody who's watching this is not normal. And if you guys get upset over that, why the fuck would you want to be normal? Like, what even is normal? Do you know what normal is? If you know what normal is, drop it down in the comments. I would love to know, because what the fuck is normal? Okay, back to So one of the things you can also work on is your digital diet. So like, I know a lot of people, they be on social media, they look at that stuff, and they be like, oh my god, I hate when so and so posts their whole life story and gets all mad and does all this stupid shit. Well, guess what? You can block so and so, or you can mute their shit, or you can unfollow them, or you can unsubscribe, or you can not get on that fucking thing if that's what you're on there for them specifically. You know what I mean? You can get rid of it. That is a possibility. That is something that you can do. It's up to you to do it, though. No one's gonna come and be like, "Oh, you don't like that? I got you, honey. I'm gonna get it off there for you." No, you gotta do it for yourself. You gotta be that person and be like, "You don't like this, honey? All right, get it off of there." So you gotta you gotta do that for yourself. You can't like expect someone else. No one's gonna come and save you. No one's gonna come and save you. Mm-mm. No, they're not. They might try to, but if you're not receptive, that's not going to do anything for you. Like I told my friend, I know this is kind of random, but I told my friend, I was telling him, I'm like, hey man, no one can save you. He's like, not even God. I'm like, well, if God is telling you that you're the most precious, amazing thing in the whole world, and you don't believe God, yeah, God can't save you. What are you talking about? It's up to you to accept that. If you don't want to accept that, it's your free will. We were given free will because like we were given free will. Use your free will. I'm gonna put that in here. You have free will. Learn how to use it. We're talking about your free will. Hold on, I'll put that link there, and I'll put the blog post down below too. Okay, so yeah, like what you go on social media and what you consume, like even now you're on YouTube, right? And you probably, I doom scroll every now and then, like once a day. Bad. I mean, I doom scroll for like maybe 30 minutes max. I've gotten a lot better. I used to doom scroll for hours, and now I don't. Like, I'm so grateful I don't doom scroll for hours. Round of applause for me. If you don't doom scroll for hours anymore, round of applause for you. If you're doom scrolling, you came across this video. How did you doom scroll to a long ass video? But I'm glad you're here. You're learning. I'm a weirdo, guys. I'm a weirdo. I am a strange human being. Okay. But your social media, like, because if you spend a lot of time on social media, your input, like, if you keep, let's say, like, you love train wrecks. Okay, a lot of people like train wrecks. I'm not talking actual train wrecks, but I mean, we can talk about that too. Maybe you like to go on YouTube and watch train wrecks. I mean, there's literally compilations of train wrecks. You got to go watch that. I'm not gonna put a link to that. You can go type in train wrecks compilation. I don't know. But let's say you like train wrecks, like actual train wrecks, or you like, emotional train wrecks, or you like people who act like train wrecks. And you be looking at that stuff all the time, and then after a while, after a while, I don't know where the hell that came from. After a while, you realize my life is starting to look like a train wreck, or maybe you don't realize it because it's like so under your subconscious because you're like, oh my god, I love this content, and then like you don't realize that you're behaving that way. A great example, right? So you know how reality TV isn't really reality, right? We all know that's like it's extra. Like it could be the actual reality. There could be an actual conflict that is happening between those people. But because we want views, we're gonna make it extra. Because people like extra. Like I said, people like train wrecks. And so there was a problem, and it's still a problem. Excuse me. I don't watch reality TV like that. Like I really don't. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. If you watch reality TV, those were confirmations for you. I haven't drank water. I haven't drank anything in a while. Anywho, but a great example is reality TV. When a young person watches reality TV, they think this is how I should act because they're watching it and they're consuming it. You think you watching something and consuming things as a grown fucking adult isn't the same shit? It is. It is, honey. I'm telling you right now, you lying to yourself if you think that what you watch is not affecting the way you act. It really is. Like, I watch a lot of funny shit because I like to laugh. But specifically, I watch specific people. And I notice that sometimes I'll take on their vocabulary. I'll start doing things that they do. Or I'll do things. And I recognize it because I know I usually recognize it after like I do it. But I still recognize that it's happening. And I'm like, okay, is this me? Is this really what I wanted? Is this really what I want to adopt from that person? Or do I want to like make it my own thing or not do that and then like do my own thing? Because I am my own person. I have free will. We have free will. Free will. Free will. So, when I'm watching that stuff, sometimes I'll take on like some of the words they use or like I'll like talk like them or like accent. There was this one time I was watching Wild Man. Yeah, Wild Man, like the guy who like noodles. He doesn't noodle for snapping turtles, but he grabs snapping turtles and he's lost like I think a couple fingers and he lost his teeth to like a chainsaw. But anywho, so I would watch him. I would like they would have like marathons of this guy, and I would watch him. I feel like I'm saying his name wrong, but he would like yee like that was that guy. Every single time he got a big ass snapping turtle, like yee like he fucking cool as fuck. But I would watch him, and I would sit there and watch for hours and hours, and then Next thing I know, I open my mouth and I'm talking with a southern accent. At this point, I was living in Washington State. It was very, very far from the South. If you don't know, it's the Pacific Northwest. Very far from the South. I literally call it the Pacific Northwest. um, I would literally start talking, and I'd be talking with an accent, and it'd be like weird because it's like I hadn't said anything for hours, but then suddenly I open my mouth and it's like an accent, and it was so funny because like my mom would be like, "Where's this accent coming from?" I'm like, "Oh, I was just watching Wild Man." She's like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense." She also picks up accents very easily. Like she'll talk to somebody and as she's talking to them, but they have a heavy accent, she'll pick up their accent. I do the same thing. I'm not really sure why. I think it has to do with mirroring psychology thing. But anyway, so yeah, come on. Like you can't tell me like what you watch is not affecting you. Like it's affecting you. You're gonna sit there and listen to train wrecks. You're gonna sit there and take in all that shit. You be stupid if you think that it's not gonna affect the way that you interact with other people in your life or interact with yourself in your own life for that matter. So frequency versus static. Like how do you identify a conversation or a meal that leaves you feeling heavy or high frequency? So how to identify it, right? When you have a conversation with somebody or an interaction or an experience, right? And you leave that experience, you read that, I was trying to put experience and interaction together. But if you leave that interaction or experience feeling like, oh, I'm tired, I want to go crawl in a hole, go to sleep. Like I don't want to do anything. Like I just want to. Then that was an experience that you should probably stay away from, or a conversation or a person you should stay away from. But if you leave that experience or interaction feeling high spirited, feeling excited, feeling ready, feeling like light, you feel light, like you feel like kind of light, not like not like lightheaded. Because sometimes you can leave a situation feeling lightheaded and it's like, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just you feel light. In those situations, usually that's a good interaction. It's something that you should do. It's something you should be doing more. It's something that you should like do. Because sometimes you can show up to a situation or an interaction or whatever, and you're like, oh my god, I don't want to do this. But then after you do it, you're like, oh my god, actually this was really great, and I want to do it again. But like, you know. So those types of interactions are the ones that you want to do again. Like that's what that's what you want to like feed into. Of course, situations that feel uncomfortable, but you still want to do them again. You like toxicity. I can see it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That's such a heavy judgment. I'm not here to judge you guys at all. Like I'm. You see me? Have you seen this video up until now? I'm crazy. I'm a weirdo. The last person to be doing shouldn't be doing that. Like I said, not that I would actually do that because that's fucking crazy. Like I don't understand. I don't understand people that be passing these harsh ass judgments. Anywho, but yeah, so basically you want to like check in with your body. It's kind of like what I talked about when I was talking about dating yourself last month of the February relationships month. Is I'll put that there, the dating yourself, that blog post, and then the blog post will be down below. The video should have popped up here. It's probably still up here, so you can click that. And you can like look, because like what you want to do is like you really want to gauge it. Like if you ate a meal and you feel sluggish and gross, I mean, like it could be like a tomorrow thing, not just like I just ate it and now I feel sluggish and gross. Sometimes it takes a little bit for your body to process things, and then you start to feel sluggish and gross, and then at that point you realize, maybe I shouldn't have eaten that. That's probably not something I should have eaten. I had a bug just try to like fly into my face. I don't like that. Get away from me, bug. And it's crazy because I have this insect going too. It's like, do you not like that? Do you not notice the insect? I don't know. Anywho, I know I've been like snorting this whole time. It is 50, 58 degrees out here. It is chilly, and my nose likes to run when it is chilly. I had to cut it because dogs started barking, and I don't want you guys to get your eardrums blown out, and also me yelling at them, telling them to shut the fuck up and leave. Don't want you to get your eardrums blown out. Anywho, so I mean you can kind of hear her in the background because she's like facing me and barking, but she's farther away, way farther away. Anywho, so you want to like look into how you're feeling after an interaction. Like I said, you're not looking to see how other people are feeling. You're looking to see how you feel, not how you made other people feel. Like, of course, that's important, you know, depending on like what's going on. But what's more important is how you feel in the situation and what's going on in your head and how you're experiencing things, right? So yeah, I mean, if that's really it, like if we're talking about, yeah, that's really it. That's really it. Obviously, there's more information. There'll be more scientific information down in the blog post, because I'll be able to fully geek out and use all my nutrition knowledge from like nutrition classes and biology classes and all that stuff, and then also like my spiritual information and things of that nature. I'm just excited. Okay, so before I do the little closing, I just want to real quick, if you guys are watching this before Saturday the 21st of March, yes, of March 2026, because I mean, you could be watching this, I don't know, 6 years in the future, and you're like, oh yeah, that's coming up. No, I don't know if I'm still doing live streams on TikTok, at least at 6 years in the future. I might be still doing live streams, but not on TikTok. Anywho, but there was a live stream at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time all the way until dark, so you can come and check that out. It's 18 plus, so if you're not 18 plus, then please, you're not going to get in. I only do it that way because we talk about all kinds of things, and all kinds of things be happening, and I would just rather have adults than a bunch of kids. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with kids. I love kids. I love adolescents because their minds, you know, they're still learning, they're still like forming things and like understanding the world, and I have a lot of things that can help them. But for the live streams, it's really just hang out. We're just talking about random shit. Like, it's not like that. But anywho, so yes, if you want to check that out, please come check it out. And if it's Saturday and not, you know, it's still 2026, or I don't know what's going on with my life. But if there is another live stream and you want to go check that out, come check it out. I'll have it listed on my TikTok page if it's on TikTok. If not, then I'll have another website and more things, and the link tree will be bigger. So if you guys want to check me out on other places, down below I said TikTok. I'm on TikTok. You can go check that out down below. I post pretty much the same content to everything because I really don't have time to do individual content. I'm lazy. I told you, I'm a little lazy. I'm not gonna lie. Just like most humans, I'm a little lazy. I don't want to do all that shit. And it's working for me. Like, people are receptive, so it's good. It's all good in the hood. My hand is getting cold. But anywho, so yeah, I mean, we talked about eating. I want you guys to know, like, consuming, eating, whatever you want to call it, is more than just food. It's more than just drink. It's more than just talking. I mean, speaking to other people. It's also experiences. And it's also the things that you say, the things that you do. When you speak, okay, I know this is like, this is the end of the video, but I just want to tell you guys real quick, because like, I know this is kind of weird to think about, because when I heard it, I was like, this is weird. That is weird. But when you speak, your brain like actually thinks that you're talking to yourself. I know that sounds really weird. So if you're talking about someone and you're saying bad things about that person, your brain thinks you're talking to yourself. They don't care who Tiffany or Adam or any of these people are. It doesn't even recognize that. What it recognizes is that you're speaking. And when you speak ill over other people, you're speaking ill over yourself. I mean, it's basic karma 101. If you don't know what karma is, or you reap what you sow, basically what you put out, it comes back to you. Like, it's kind of like the law of attraction. But I now know that the law of attraction is actually more of a psychological thing, but it works. It really works. It fucking works. So, but anywho, our brains are so powerful. I just want you guys to know how powerful your brain is. So, with all of that in mind, I'm gonna give you guys the weekly prompt. I actually kept this video kind of short. I'm excited. It's shorter than it usually is. Usually it's like an hour, like almost an hour. I mean, we're almost there, but we're not there. So, what is one thing you have been consuming, food, media, or energy, that feels like scrap energy? And what is one sacred intake you can place it with this week? I swear to you guys, I have this. But anywho, what are you consuming that feels like scraps, that feels like it makes you feel heavy, makes you feel gross, makes you feel not yourself? And what can you replace that with? So, like, for me, I mean, a great example would be like, let's say you eat candy all the time, like I used to. I only ate candy because I love fruit and I love fruity candy. I like sour things. I like sour candy, sour fruit. I like fruit that's sour. Like I don't like sweet grapes. I don't like sweet apples. I mean, some sweet apples, but I don't like it to be mostly sweet. I just get a little tartness to it, and I don't like sweet blueberries. Oh my god, I don't like sweet blueberries. Are so gross to me. Mm-mm. But I like sour things, so I would eat sour candy, and it kind of like replaced that for me. But it's not healthy. It's not healthy to replace that with, So I would replace it with fruit, and instead of being like I can go buy a dollar thing of candy, be like if I don't have the money, then I don't get it. You know what I mean? I just don't. I mean, I don't, and like get it. I mean like the fruit. So like if I can't afford the fruit, but I can afford the candy, don't get the fucking candy. Save up for the fruit and save that for future. And it's getting so dark. Why did it do that? I know why it did that, but I don't know why it did that. I like to. I don't know what the fuck happened to my recording, but it just stopped recording while I was in the middle of making it brighter. But basically, what I was just saying is like, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day wherever you are on that 24-hour scale. I hope you have great rest of your day. And also, if you want, all the links and stuff are down below. So all the resources that you're looking for, they're down below. And of course, the website has way more resources. All the blog posts that I've ever written, all the videos that I have created with more specific content are listed on the YouTube channel homepage. Yes. And then yeah, I think that's it. Okay, I love you guys so much. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Okay, bye.